The men's and women's tennis teams at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville will soon be no longer, and it's not sitting well with past and present players. 5 News reporter Taylor Howard shows us how this one program helped shape lives and what comes next.
When I think of Arkansas tennis, it's my entire college experience. It's my best friends. It's everything I trained for since I was 5 years old.
One of those best friends is Johan, his former doubles partner at the U of A, who came all the way from the Netherlands to play Razorback tennis. It's also where Johan met his wife, Shannon. The two connected through a program they say has shaped their lives.
Sophomore year, by the end of our sophomore year, we started dating, and then after we graduated, we got engaged. We have 2 little boys right now. We started business together.
After graduating in 2018, they stayed, building something of their own.
When we started with an idea, with a piece of paper, draw out what we wanted it to be, and then it went from there. And then 2.5, 3 years later, we were able to make it a reality.
They opened Matrix Racket Club in Loudoun County, now helping young athletes follow the same path.
We want to be able to give kids the opportunity that we had in college and become the best tennis player they can be. We think tennis is the greatest sport, the healthiest sport.
There you go.
Now, that program is coming to an end. The university announcing they will discontinue both men's and women's tennis teams.
We have one girl who's on the women's team right now who I was just on the phone with.
She says it's hitting the players hard.
I think that those players that just received the news that they're being cut today, they're going to have a tough decision to make. Do they love the university enough to stay?
The university says players can keep their scholarships through graduation, but transferring to keep playing could be difficult this late in the recruiting cycle.
They're in a really hard spot, and luckily the community around here is so close. There's going to be plenty of people reaching out to them and trying to help them through the process, but I feel terrible for them.
But for people like Branch, who grew up in Arkansas, playing for the Razorbacks was always the goal.
There is something special about playing for your state, and that's something they won't get to do, and it's sad.
This elimination is cutting more than 20 roster spots across SEC tennis programs. In Loudoun, covering news where you live, Taylor Howard, 5 News.
Happening today, a man is sentenced for a 2024 shooting at Lake Fayetteville. 18-year-old was killed, 4 others were injured. Gilberto Gordillo was facing a capital murder charge, but prosecutors later dropped the charge down to second-degree murder. Jury found Gordillo guilty on that charge and first-degree battery, was sentenced to 13 years in prison. LaFleur County prosecutors are holding Edgar Lara, the man accused of killing LaFleur County Deputy Walker LeMay during a standoff on Sunday, without bail tonight. He was back in LaFleur County custody today after he was previously held at the Sequoia County Jail in Sallisaw. Lara faces first-degree murder, 8 counts of shooting with intent to kill, and the use of a simulated bomb charge. We've learned he was appointed a public defender, and a preliminary hearing in court is set for June 10th. In LaFleur County. At the Arkansas State Capitol, a Scott County representative introduced an amendment that would have eliminated a senior advisor in the governor's office. The advisor, former Secretary of Prisons Joe Porfiry. Porfiry was fired from his secretary role by the State Board of Education. He tried to go around the board and expand the state's number of prison beds without their approval. Well, since then, he's worked in the governor's office as an advisor. And this week, Waldron State Senator Terry Rice introduced an amendment to the BOC appropriation bill that would have gotten rid of Porfiry's position.
The Board of Corrections members asked Mr. Porfiry to share his intended plans as secretary, and they would work with him. He ignored multiple attempts. A major trust breaker was Mr. Porfiry's refusal to appear as requested by both chairs at the September Joint Performance Review Committee meeting.
Senator Rice and other lawmakers have also accused Porfiry of mismanaging the state's contract with the company that is advising on the Franklin County Prison project. By the way, that amendment did not pass out of committee. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, lawmakers are leading a bipartisan push to open up a new option for SNAP benefits, or recipients, that is. An Arkansas congressman is heading that effort. Maya Ellison breaks down the hot rotisserie chicken proposal and what it could mean for families using SNAP.
Anything hot, fries, anything like that would just simply just not acceptable.
Stores like Uncle T's that accept SNAP benefits will tell you current federal rules do not allow customers to buy prepared hot foods. Now, a bipartisan push in Washington aims to create a specific exception.
This legislation that has been filed at the federal level to allow hot rotisserie chicken to be an eligible product to be purchased with SNAP benefits.
Mary Franklin with the Arkansas Department of Human Services says the Hot Rotisserie Chicken Act would remove a long-standing barrier. Right now, a whole bird priced between $5 and $7 only qualifies if it's chilled. And if passed, she says it would give families another affordable option.
It can go along with other healthy sides that are pretty economical and can be fast for a busy family to prepare for a healthy meal.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is backing the proposal, calling it a better way to get nutritious options to families.
This is about trying to prepare food at home. This is about going to the grocery store, buying your food items, taking them home and preparing your food at home. That's what this is about.
Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford is leading the effort on Capitol Hill. He says H.R. 8403 was originally withdrawn during the 2018 Farm Bill markup. I guess my question, why now?
Well, I don't really know the answer to that because I'm kind of perplexed why this was not standard to begin with.
He tells me the bill would modernize the rules without adding costs to taxpayers. And beyond convenience, he hopes it could help families in food deserts access protein-rich meals.
Those small, as you mentioned, mom and pop establishments in small communities, I wouldn't be surprised if they started to offer rotisserie chicken because it will be, I'm confident it will become an acceptable SNAP benefit purchase.
And back at Uncle T's, Jamar Jones says he's watching the legislation closely, adding what's good for the community is often good for local businesses.
From a business perspective of it, if we, as much as can be added to the list to help.
Was Maya Ellison reporting. Now, Congressman Crawford says the Farm Bill heads to the House floor for debate next week. That bill includes the hot chicken proposal, which he says is the first major step toward getting it signed into law. Well, new data is showing some promise in the shift in the fight against teen suicide. The Arkansas Crisis Center says more people are reaching out for help these days. Since the launch of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline 2.5 years ago, nearly 4,000 fewer young people died by suicide than expected. That's an 11% drop, according to the medical journal JAMA. The Arkansas Crisis Center says more calls are coming in and fewer deaths are being reported. Leaders at the center say it's the only one in the state where you can text to connect with trained professionals.
Youth suicide is the second leading cause of death in the state of Arkansas. We saw a massive increase for people reaching out to us at their most vulnerable, but at the same time, the service is there, so they needed help anyway, and we were there to meet them where they are.
Center is launching a new program this fall called AR Connect. It's a peer support hotline connecting teens with someone their own age trained in stress and crisis management.